Hey polish fans, it's Caroline again and welcome to another video here at Wild Moon Lacquer. In today's video, we are doing more comparisons from that huge haul of estate polish that was over 2,000 bottles, and we are continuing on with part 2 from Cult Nails. As I mentioned in part 1 for Cult Nails, I did end up keeping a lot less from this brand than I did with our first brand, which was Colors by Laro. There were also just a lot less of this brand in that haul altogether. So this section is far less about duping any polishes out within the brand and more do I like them once they're swatched. So we are doing our blues and greens today. There's only 15 that we're going to be doing a comparison of today, so it shouldn't be too long of a video, but let's go ahead and dig in. The first two are our darkest blues. We have Time Traveler and Dazed. Now, I feel like with this brand especially, I am repeating myself on the fact that most of these are not going to be dupes. All of these are different enough that I feel like we're going to have a lot of differences. Time Traveler in this case is a cream, whereas Dazed has a kind of like metallic sheen to it, but they are both dark blues. Here they are on the nail. From left to right is Time Traveler. On the right is Dazed. Both of these are in 2 coats with a glossy top coat. And as expected, Time Traveler is a dark blue, just a cream, kind of leaning towards like a navy. And then Dazed has that metallic glint to it, which is kind of hard to see. I know you can see like a dark blue shimmer component, but I feel like in person it's almost leaning towards like a scattered hollow, sort of a metallic gleam on the nail. So for these, do I need both of them? Am I missing a navy cream? And actually, I think I am. I mean, I can't confirm 100%, but I have been looking for a navy cream. So I do want to at least keep this until I can do comparisons across the board with any other polishes that I kept in that estate haul and then among my own collection. So I want to make sure that I do have something like this. So this is going to go on to the second phase of comparisons and we'll see how it goes from there. But so far I'm going to keep Time Traveler. That's our dark blue cream. And then Dazed is our metallic blue. And I do feel like this one is not super unique. I want to say I at least have a Sally Hansen that has a similar blue metallic finish. So I don't know that this is necessarily one that I need to keep. So we're going to go with it. We are going to destash Dazed. And then we are going to just look at this one. This one doesn't really have anything to compare it to. This one is Cult Nails Intriguing, and this is in 2 coats. This one is a beautiful sort of powdery, dusty blue. This one does have some hollow. It's easier to see that in the bottle. I feel like once this is on the nail, it's definitely not a full-on linear hollow. It adds more like a little bit of a sparkle or twinkle on the nail, but this is a beautiful color. So I am keeping Intriguing. The next 2 we are going to compare. We have Princess and Manipulative, and these do have a similar formulation as far as the finish on the nail, but they are different colors. Princess is a dustier sky blue that has a gold to orange larger particled shimmer, whereas Manipulative is kind of like a dusty duck egg blue. And that one has a larger particle shimmer in it as well, but this time it's in like a light pink to an aqua. So here they are on the nail. Princess is on the left, Manipulative is on the right. Both of these are in 2 coats with a glossy top coat. And here you can definitely tell the tonal differences. Princess has that sky blue, that dusty sky blue, almost gray leaning once it's swatched. And then Manipulative has that beautiful duck egg blue, which is more green leaning. So both of these are gorgeous colors. I will say for both of them that once they're swatched, the shimmers are not super pronounced in these. They are mostly coming across as creams, especially Manipulative, but it's a beautiful cream. That is a lovely, lovely color. Princess definitely comes off, especially against my skin tone, is kind of this gray blue, more gray than I feel like is coming off on my screen as I'm filming. And that shimmer really doesn't show through. So tonally, this is not my favorite. It's beautiful, but I just don't tend to wear this type of blue. If it's a sky blue, I want it to be punchy. And if it's a dusty shade, I need it to still have a bit more saturation than I feel like this is. This is somewhere between a blue and a gray. And like I said, that shimmer doesn't really show through. So you know what? We're going with it. Princess is going to be our second one destashed. but I am keeping manipulative. This is beautiful. Now, this one is slightly dusty as well, but it has enough saturation on the nail that I like it. So I'm curious how this is going to compare to all of my other duck egg blue, Tiffany box, minty shades. It is kind of similar to what I'm wearing, which is actually a black Dahlia polish. That'll be listed with all of the other polishes that I'm wearing it down in the description box. But this one again does sort of come across as mainly a cream polish. So I'm probably going to be comparing it to other creams to see how it comes across, but keeping manipulative. That is very pretty. Next up, we're going to look at just this one. This is another one that doesn't really have anything to compare it to. This is Let Me Fly, also in 2 coats. I will say a lot of these were great 2 coaters. So this one is a teal, very creamy in its consistency, and this one has a larger particle shimmer in it as well. Actually, I think it's very similar to what was in Manipulative. It's that sort of pink with aqua and silver. But again, once it's on the nail, I'm not really seeing it. I mean, you can kind of see it, but it mainly comes off as a cream. It's definitely not a shimmer polish. It just happens to have shimmer in it. So this is another instance where it is a stunning color. I'm just trying to decide if it stands out enough among all of the other teals that I already have in my collection. And I don't know that it does. So we're going to go with it. Let Me Fly is going to be our third one destashed. Then moving on to our next pair. These I think might be our closest. Yeah, I think the only other pair that's close in this grouping are our last 2 in the olive family, but these are kind of close. These are 2 dark teals. We have I Got Distracted and Living Water. Now there is a formulation difference. We actually have our first instance where the first polish is in 2 coats, the second one is in 3, but both of these do have glitter or larger particled shimmer in them. I Got Distracted has like a hollow glitter as well as like, yeah, there's something else in there, maybe iridescent glitter. Yeah, you can definitely see that on camera. So lots of twinkles, lots of stuff going on. And then our 3-coater has like a micro glitter in a dark blue teal base. So here they are on the nail. I Got Distracted is on the left in 2 coats with a glossy top coat, and Living Water is on the right. That one was 3 coats. Now I will say I Got Distracted, because it is so packed full of glitter, is not super glossy after a glossy top coat. That is one of the polishes that would definitely benefit from a glitter smoother before a top coat, but it is very pretty. It's kind of fuzzy. Look at all those beautiful sparkles. Primarily the color that is coming across is a green in that one. There is some hollow that I'm seeing. You can see that in the smaller particle behind the larger glitters. But because green is primarily what I'm seeing, I'm actually not too sure that I love that one. Then we have Living Water, and that one is pretty. It's sparkly, but it is also super, super dark. Now, I have been growing in my fondness for these darker, almost blackened bases. However, I'm not sure how I feel about this one. So oddly enough, both of these are going into the destash. All right, next up is another one that does not have anything to compare it to. This is Masquerade. This is another 3-coater and another in the teal family that has a larger particled shimmer. So because this one does have a 3-coat formula as opposed to a 2-coat formula, I am definitely seeing the shimmer here on the nail this time. So this one is a beautiful shade. I do feel like it comes across a little bit more almost foresty green on my skin tone, but like I said, I definitely see that shimmer in here. So this one I am going to keep. I want to at least pass it along to phase 3 of the comparisons, but so far Masquerade is going to be kept. That is a beautiful color. The next one also doesn't really have anything to compare it to. This is our only, at least in this color family, Glitter Bomb topper. So this is Dance All Night. This is just in 2 coats. Wow. I'm not very impressed with the longevity of the Sharpies that I'm using on these. I thought they should last forever, but they are easily getting rubbed off of my swatch sticks. In any case, here is Dance All Night. It's a lot easier to see what's going on once it's been swatched. It is a blue and green glitter topper with some smaller iridescent glitters. So it's half over black, half over a clear swatch stick. This is one where I feel like in the bottle I did like it more. but I am trying to decide if it's worth it to hold on to use over other colors, and I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure. So you know what? We're going with it. Dance All Night is going to be destashed as well. I'm trying really hard to be more proactive in destashing. Okay, the next two, we have Hypnotize Me and Feeling Froggy. So Hypnotize Me is a beautiful like micro glitter slash shimmer polish in a beautiful green jelly base. And then Feeling Froggy is a slightly dusty grass green that does have a tone-on-tone shimmer in it. We've got that brighter green that pops up. This time we are dealing with two 3-coaters. So on the left we have Hypnotize Me, on the right is Feeling Froggy, both with a glossy top coat. So right off the bat, Hypnotize Me is a polish that I do already have a bottle of in my current collection, but I'm keeping this one. This strikes me as a very unusual polish. I mean, look at that. It doesn't just have the green micro glitters, it's got blue micro glitters or shimmers. I honestly can't tell what they are. I'm going with micro glitters, but you see the blue and the green? This is stunning. This was actually, I think, my very first polish that I tracked down and got from Cult Nails after they closed, because I didn't really discover them until after they had closed, unfortunately. And I still to this day have not seen a polish like this come from any other brand. So I don't want to run the risk of eventually running out of my bottle, or because I know that that is rather unlikely, I think if I do have a backup bottle, I will be more likely to wear my first bottle. It's a beautiful polish, and as a lot of you have also been telling me, the thing is if I were to get rid of these and then decide later on that I want them again or regret getting rid of them, trying to find them again would be a big pain in my rear end, and I wouldn't be able to find them for the price that I did. I did the math the other day and it was less than 20 cents per bottle. So yeah, that's definitely not going to be something that I'm going to come across again. So surprise, surprise, I am keeping a second bottle of Hypnotize Me. Now I will say I found multiple bottles of Hypnotize Me and I only am allowing myself one backup. So I'll pat myself on the back for that one. Then we have Feeling Froggy. This is that tone-on-tone sort of grass green with a green shimmer. I don't know. I am not the biggest green fan, and I will say with my greens I do much more prefer them in the teal range. Mint again is one of my favorite tones. Grass green or anything close to a standard basic primary green isn't my favorite, and this is too close to a primary green for me to really like it. I do describe this more as a grass green, but grass green to me is still really close to a generic green. And I've mentioned it in other videos, primary colors just often don't do anything for me. So this one is also going to get the boot. Feeling Froggy is going to go into the destash. All right, next up is another that doesn't really have anything to compare it to. This one is Grunge. And you guys, this is a 1-coater. This is kind of this mix between a dusty olive and a gray green. This one is gorgeous. This does fall into a color category of greens that I do enjoy. So this one is definitely a keeper, especially because as a cream, this is only 1 coat. I was very impressed with that. So Grunge is a keeper. And then the last 2 polishes are some darker olives. We have In a Trance and Midnight Mist. So this is our second pair that I feel is the closest, but there are still differences. Both of these are in the deeper yellow leaning olive family. Both of them do have shimmer. However, I would say In a Trance has kind of an olivey gold shimmer in it and is the most yellow leaning. Then Midnight Mist has more of a darker base to it, and it has a warmer shimmer that goes to like an orange and red. So here they are on the nail. Both of these are in 2 coats with a glossy top coat. On the left is In a Trance, on the right is Midnight Mist. And hopefully there you can see that deeper tone that Midnight Mist has. It almost leans gray by comparison to these 2 olivey tones. The shimmer for both of these do show up on the nail, maybe not as predominantly as in a sheerer base. So I think if these both were a 3-coat formula, you'd see the shimmers a little bit more. But there is our more yellow leaning one, which was In a Trance. And here is Midnight Mist. That is our darker one that leans a little bit more gray in the base. So, do I need both? Do I like both? Yeah, I think I do. I think I like both, especially in a trance with that more yellow leaning base. I don't think I have that many colors like it in my collection, if any. I can't think of any right up front. So it is one of those color ranges that usually for myself falls into the Prugly zone, but I like it enough to at least give it a shot. I want to try wearing it in a mani, maybe this upcoming fall. But first things first, I'm going to put it into phase 3 of comparing it to all of the other keepers and see if I somehow did end up keeping something similar to it from that huge estate haul. But for the time being, both of these are keepers. All right, so how'd we do? 7 out of 15, almost half. Keeping 8, getting rid of 7. Not too shabby. Let me know which ones were your favorites down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you had a good time, and I will see you in that next one.